Good evening, students. Continuation to our previous class. Okay, here we are starting with the iterative statement for loop. Okay, the for loop is for iterate through the list of elements. Okay, this is generally used in the whenever you are iterate through a list of elements or a sequence of elements or a collection of elements, then we can go for the for loop. Okay, it doesn't has any initialization, increment or step ending value. Okay, it considers each and everything is from the sequence. Okay, the sequence starting value is the initialization for the variable, and sequence next values are the increment for the variable, and the sequence last value is the stop condition for the for loop. So that each and every value is read from the sequence, and that is used by the that is stored in the variable and used within the for loop statement. Okay, it executes a group of statements repeatedly until unless the given sequence elements are not completed, are not ended. Okay, here we can as a sequence we can use either a string, or we can use a list, or we can use a tuple, or we can use a range function to generate a sequence with the given start value and end value. Okay, here it is the syntax of the for loop. Okay, it starts with the keyword for variable in sequence colon next statements with a one tab indentation. For is a keyword and variable is the user defined variable we can use as a type of for the sequence. Okay, if the sequence elements are the integers, our variable is also integer. If the sequence values are strings, then our variable is also a string. If the sequence values are the any collection or any other sequences, then our variable is also a another collection or sequence. Okay. Here it is a sample program with a for loop. Okay, here we are using a for I variable in range of 1 comma 4. 1 is the starting value of the sequence and 4 is the ending value of the sequence. Okay, here in the Python, whenever you are generating any sequences, or whenever you are iterate through the some start value and end value, it takes up to the last value minus 1. So this loop is repeated for 3 times. That is for I value with the 1 and I value with the 2 and I value with the 3. So here it gets the prints of a values with the 1, and then it has a one more statement in the for loop, that is a print end. So for each time you will get the I value and end. So 1 end, and then again for the second iteration it takes the next value from the sequence, that is the 2, and prints the end. And for the next iteration it takes the next value from the sequence, that is a 3, and it prints the end. So whenever it reaches the fourth, then it stops the iteration and exits from the for loop. Okay. Say if you want to print the end statement for only once, that is also after printing all the values, then we can write the print end statement to the outside of the indentation of for loop. That is with the same indentation of the for. Okay, then it executes after the for loop. Okay, so it prints the output as 1, 2, 3, and end is over only once. And next is the nested loops. Okay, nested loops are the loops which are used to execute for more than once. More than once, that is a loop statement to be executed for more than once, then we can use the nested loops. Okay, here we'll write the one loop within the another loop. Okay, say for example, you can write a while loop in the for loop, and for loop in a while loop, or while loop in another while loop, or for loop in another for loop. Here the nested loops are like this. For I is in the range of 1 to 6, that is here have a one loop with the variable I that repeats from 1 to 6, that is 1 to 5 it repeats, that is 5 times it repeats the loop. And within that I have another loop is for j is in the range of 1 to I plus 1. That is this j variable loop is repeated for the number of times based on the I variable value. Okay, if I variable value is the 1, then it repeats from 1 comma I plus 1, that is 1 plus 1 2. I, that is J loop repeats for 2 times, one time, 1 to 2, that is only one time. Whenever it reaches the 2, it skips the loop. So like this, it increments the number of iterations of the J loop based on the I variable. So it prints the J variable value. Every time whatever the value which is in the J variable, that is printed in the print. So here we are giving a print J comma. So comma is nothing but here without giving a new line, it just gives the value side by side. Okay, on a single line it gives all the values of the J loop. Okay, then after exiting from the J loop, here we are printing a print double quotes, that is it gives a one new line in the print. So after printing the one line of the J values, it gets the cursor into the next line. Okay, so here our output is 1, that is because first time the J value is repeated from 1 to 2, that is only one time. For this next time I value, whenever it is incremented to 2, then J loop repeats from 1 to 2 plus 1 3. So that is 1 2. Whenever it reaches the 3, exits from the loop. And the third time it repeats up to the 4. 4 is nothing but 1 2 3. Whenever it reaches the 4, then it stops the loop. And fourth time I value has 4. So 1 2 4 plus 1 5. So it repeats for 4 times, 1 2 3 4. Then again I value becomes a 5. Okay, then our J value repeats from 1 to I plus 1, that is 5 plus 1 6. Okay, 1 to 6, that is 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, every time it prints the J values as a 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. And for every time it gives a one new line, so that our output gets into the new lines. And here this is another program. By changing the range values, we can get a different output. Okay, here I variable is repeated from 1 to 6, that is 1 to 5. And again J variable is repeated for 1 to 6, that is also 1 to 5. So here we are not changing the J iterations, that is here we are fixed, J iterations are fixed, so that for every I iteration, J is repeated for 5 times. That is 5 into 5, 25. So here we'll get the output as a square matrix. Okay. If whenever the I is a 1, J repeats from 1 to 6, that is 1 to 5. So it gets the output as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again I is incremented to 2. Again for the second time J is repeats from again from 1 to 6. Again I is incremented to 3 and J is repeats from 1 to 6. Again I incremented to 4 and J repeats from 1 to 6. So that we'll get the square matrix of the numbers 1 to 5. And then we'll see the jump statements. Okay, there are the three jump statements in the Python. One is the break, and second one is the continue, third one is the pass. Here this break and continue statements are same as we of our C language statements. And pass is the new statement which is introduced in the Python language. Okay, just we'll see how these statements will be executed and how these jump the program from one place to another place. Break statement. Break statement is to exit from a loop. That is whenever you want to stop the execution of the loop and you want to come out of the loop statement, then we can use the break statement. Okay, here our example program is here we are accepting a number k n that is stored into the n variable and count equals to 0. And here I have a for loop. I is in the range of 2 to n. That is I want to repeat I variable from 2 to the n value. Okay, that is less than the n. It repeats up to less than the n. So this is the program to check whether the given number is a prime or not. So prime is nothing but the number should have only two factors. The factors are the number and the one. That is, if the number is divided by itself and the one, then that is the prime number. Otherwise, it is not a prime number. So we are checking the count of the factors from 2 to the less than the n, that is 2 to n minus 1. Okay, if is there any factor in between that range, then we will say that the number is not a prime. If there are no factors between the 2 to n minus 1, then that is a prime number. So here we are counting that for I is in the range of 2 to n, if n mod I is equals to 0, that is if n is divided by the I and the remainder is the 0, then increment the count variable, count equals to count plus 1 and break. That is, we got a one factor for the n number in the range of 2 to n minus 1. At least if you got at least one factor in the range of 2 to n minus 1, okay, then we'll increment the count and break. Okay, so it exits from the for loop. Okay, so after coming out of the for loop, just we are checking that if the count is equals to 0, that is there is no factor in between the 2 to n minus 1, then count is 0, then it prints a prime number. Else, if there is a count value, that is if it is incremented by 1 at least, then it prints a not prime number. Okay, so here we are using a break to exit from the for loop. That is all. That is whenever we encounter a factor for the n number, then we will stop the loop. Okay. Okay. Here output is the n is the 7, and here we are printing output as the it's a prime number because 7 is divided by 1 and 7 only. Continue statement. Okay, this statement is used to skip the only the particular iteration of the loop. Okay, it continue to the next iteration of the iterative statement. So it just exits from the that is it just stops the current iteration of the loop. Okay, here we are giving a sample code for this. Okay, for the number is in the range of 1 to 7. If the number is equals to 4, then continue. Okay, here continue is nothing but after the continue, whatever the statements are there, those will not be executed. Okay, so it just go for the next value of the iteration. Okay, so whenever the number is 4, it just go for the next value of the number, that is the 5. Okay, otherwise it prints the value print statement number is str of number. Just it converts str is to convert the number into the string and concatenate to the number is string. Okay, so you'll get the output as a number is the number value. So except the 4, you'll get all the values from 1 to 6. So here the output is number is 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is skipped, a number is 5, number is 6. Okay, so only we can stop the or we can break the particular iteration of the loop statements. Okay, that for that we can use the continue statement. And next is the pass statement. Okay, here this is for whenever a loop is to be continue or loop is to be jumped to the any another statement, then we can use the pass statement without executing any condition or without checking any statements. We can just go for the next lines of the code. Okay, and here this is the code, and here we'll get the output as same as the normal the for loop. Okay, for number is in the range of 1 to 7. Okay, and if the number is equals to 4, pass. That is nothing but I don't want to exit, I don't want to stop the program, just I want to continue the remaining code as it is, so that it prints the number is the number of a or iteration statement. Okay, so you'll get the output as number is from 1 to 6. Okay, so this is used whenever you have any particular condition which cannot be checked or which cannot be uh, exited from the which cannot be reflect to the exit of the program. There we can use the pass statement. And here we'll go for the one problem. Okay, just check this. Okay, here you have a task. Okay, just solve this and send me the reply, send me the code of the